What's going on, guys? So we are in the entryway of our Forest River Surveyor. This is a 2024 Forest River Surveyor collaboration unit. It is 92 degrees outside and it is 96% humidity. It is absolutely a swamp outside. The minute you go outside, you feel like you're going to start condensing. It is crazy. And I had a project today, and it's an interesting project because you were looking at some parts that were left over from the Furrion air conditioner that we removed when we swapped it for this new chill cube. Let's talk about what's going on and some of the challenges that I'm kind of dealing with now. Hang tight, I'll be right back. First of all, from a performance perspective, this 18,000 BTU Furrion inverter, kind of a mini split style air conditioner, is absolutely fantastic from a performance aspect. Why do I say that? Because I've been in here for about 10 minutes now. Again, it's 92 degrees outside. It is super, super hot. It was 87 degrees when I got in here, and after 10 minutes, we're down to 75 degrees. This thing is performing amazing. It is super quiet. It is absolutely blowing a ton of air. I love the thermostat, which I just hung back up, I think. I'm not sure where I put it, actually. It's probably sitting over here somewhere. Oh, here it is. The thermostat is really cool because it's a remote. You can set it to follow you around. A lot of great features. But the challenge I have is a challenge that I pointed out in a previous video I made on this, and that's the fact that, like a mini split in your home, when the unit is on, the fan is running all the time. And that is not convenient for how I like to use an air conditioner. What do I mean by that? So, this air conditioner right here has manual controls on it. Basically, I can turn it on or off from these controls. I can adjust how cold I want it. I can adjust the speed, all of that stuff from up here, which is totally fine. But the challenge that I have with this one is that I have to manually turn it on or off. I like that one because it is controlled through the remote thermostat right there, but the feature that was built into the air conditioner that I removed when I had this thermostat is the fact that I could set the fan and the air conditioner to auto. What do I mean by that? That means that if I set it just to, let's say, dehumidify and cool this down a little bit if it got extremely hot, let's say I set it for 85 degrees when it's just sitting out here. The air conditioner would, well, first the fan would kick on whenever it got hotter than 85 degrees. Then a few seconds later, the condenser would kick on, or the compressor, and all of a sudden we'd have cold air coming out. When it reached 85 or 84 degrees and it turns off, everything shuts off. The fan shuts off, the compressor shuts off, everything shuts off, and it is drawing no power, and it is quiet in here. I don't have to worry about something constantly running. I have not been able to replicate that with this unit. So let me give you an example. I'm going to set the thermostat for, let's just say, we're going to set it for 76 degrees. I'm going to put it on auto. The fan is currently on auto, and I'm going to switch it to cool. Let me get this going back. Okay, well, it shows that when you put it on, let's see here. Now I have everything set for auto, and here's the problem I have. It's reached temperature. The compressor is shut off, but it's still blowing air. The fan is still running. It's running really low, granted, but the problem I have right now is that the fan is still running. It's not shutting down at all, which means if I leave the RV out here like this and I set it for a certain temperature just to turn on whenever it reaches that temperature, the compressor will turn on, but the fan will run 24/7, like it's still running right now. It's running really, really low, but it's still running. And I don't want this thing to run 24/7. I don't want this thing to constantly run all the time. The one tweak that I would ask of the folks over at Furrion is to make this have the ability to shut everything down whenever it reaches temperature when it's on auto. That to me is a very, very important feature that this air conditioner really needs. And with that feature, it would be ideal. And they don't really need to do anything, I guess, except just program the system so it shuts off when it hits the temperature you want it to hit. because right now it's not doing that. Again, it's still blowing air. Again, it's blowing very little, but what I don't want is the wear and tear of this thing running 24/7 and then kicking on whenever it gets, you know, really hot inside, just to turn off, but the fan still constantly run, because not only is that pulling power I don't want it to pull, but it's also putting wear and tear on the unit, and I don't want that to happen either when I don't need it on. So that's my request for the folks over at Furrion. Maybe they can add it, maybe they can't. I hope they can. If they add that feature, this thing, to me, at least as I've tested it and as of this video, would be perfect. It would be the best thing since RVing in general. It would be absolutely amazing if they could simply have this shut down completely whenever, or turn the fan off, even if the display's on, even if the unit is still technically on, just from a power perspective, but it's not blowing air, it's not moving any components. Just to have the unit sit here in a stationary mode and then turn on whenever it reaches that temperature that I want it to, you know, engage at to cool the unit down. That's my ask. Hopefully they can do it. Anyways, if you have a Brinkley unit and you have this, or if time's gone by since this video was published and this thing's now available and you have it in your unit and you're testing it and you're using it, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on it, as well as I'm sure the Furrion people would. So yeah, leave a comment below and let me know. The concern that I have in terms of this thing running all the time, is that a concern you guys share as well? Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.